It's been 3 games and we already have a controversy in Leafs land. Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Justin, and over the weekend the Toronto Maple Leafs played the Ottawa Senators twice. And I know this is a little bit of a delayed video, but wanted to give out a few points from those games. Starting off and getting that elephant out of the room, we have a goalie controversy. People are already asking for the Toronto Maple Leafs to play Jack Campbell as our starter moving forward and bench Frederik Andersen. Of course, this comes from Frederik Andersen having a couple rough starts in his first 2 games. I believe he let in 9 goals against in those 2 games, which is not like him at all, and is underperforming. And then, of course, Jack Campbell follows that up with a strong win of his own. But that does not mean we should be jumping the gun and making Jack Campbell our starter. I think that's a little bit ridiculous at this point in the season. Your objective as a team should be setting up your starting goaltender for as much success as possible. And in our last game, that meant sitting him on the bench, giving him a harder workout, and letting him get some rest so that he could be prepared for the games coming up. It also means giving him confidence and not taking that confidence away from him, which playing Jack Campbell in a back-to-back will not do, but to all of a sudden make Frederik Andersen your backup goalie? Well, Jack Campbell has never, ever been a starting goalie in the NHL. If he isn't able to handle that responsibility, and then you try to put Frederik Andersen back into that starting role, his confidence is shot. He won't have played many games recently, and he won't want to perform at his top effort because, well, the team disrespected him. Frederik Andersen is a fantastic goalie when he is on his game. And granted, Jack Campbell is as well. But Steve Dangle put it best. We as Leafs fans are conditioned, especially after last year, to understand that when your backup is playing, you should expect a loss, and if you get a win, it's gravy. In the National Hockey League, your backup goaltender should be able to get you wins. The best teams in the league, when their backups are in the net, you're still expecting them to get that win because that's their job. They're supposed to win games. It's ridiculous to think that they're expected not to. So to say that Jack Campbell should get the start just because he won 1 game, and I do think he played great in this game, but he also faced less than 20 shots, is way too far-fetched. I expect Frederik Andersen to turn things around. We know that he's had slow starts in the past, so he'll be able to ramp things up, get a little bit hot, and I have no concerns moving forward. Second item I wanted to bring up was TJ Brodie. Why in Leafs Nation can we not just have good things? I mean, TJ Brodie, granted, first game against Ottawa, played bad. It was not a good game. But we have to understand what kind of pressure that we're putting on this guy. It's been well noted that TJ Brodie is the very first competent or best D partner for Morgan Rielly. And so we're setting him up with really high expectations in this. And he had a bad game, but I've seen way too many comments of, oh, TJ Brodie was a bad acquisition and he's a terrible player for this team. He's just another Cody Ceci. Or no, we got to stop with that. He proved in the next game against Ottawa that he can be an excellent defenseman. He split up probably at least 2 2-on-1s and had some great defensive plays as well as generating some offense. And guys, we just need to relax a little bit. I mean, we're 3 games into the season. At that point, it was 2 games into the season, and we're already throwing TJ Brodie under the bus. What's that going to do to help set him up for success? It's not going to work. We can't set these expectations on him to be the best guy on the team. That's not what his role is. His role is to complement Morgan Rielly. And he can't do that if we constantly just feed him to the wolves and say that he's a terrible defenseman and absolutely shoot his confidence. We need to be able to support our team. TJ Brodie will be a great acquisition for this team. He will be great for Morgan Rielly. He will be the best D partner that Morgan Rielly has ever played with on that line. And so we should just embrace that. He had a bad game. Let's let it go. He bounced back, and we'll see how he does moving forward. And the final point, of course, this season, the attention's been on Jumbo Joe, and especially since he's playing on that first line. He has looked a little slow, not going to lie. His legs are not there like they used to be, and he's had a few surgeries on them, but he's also not expected to be the fastest guy. Right now, what we're looking for is for Jumbo Joe to find his role on that line. On that line used to be Zach Hyman, and that role was not to be a scorer, but mostly get on the attack, get the puck, and give it to Austin and Mitch and let them do their job. Just get the forecheck and give some pressure. Well, I don't think Joe Thornton can really play that role because he's not going to be the first one in the zone every time. He doesn't have the legs to put on that pressure, but he does have a physical big presence. So if the puck does get in the corner and he's able to get to it, he should be able to win those puck battles. Most importantly, what we're looking for Jumbo Joe on that first line is just to be a great playmaker and help set up Austin and Mitch. Mitch, it's noted, he wants to be able to put the puck in the net a little bit more this year, so he needs to get fed the puck a little bit more instead of him doing all the dishing on that line. We saw it in the second Ottawa Senators game. Jumbo Joe has still got a little bit of juice when it comes to providing some offensive power. He was able to, of course, get that great snipe where the defenseman and the goaltender both thought that pass was going to Austin Matthews because you've got a shooter, you've got a passer, that's what it comes down to. But Jumbo Joe had the presence to take that shot and get that goal. And he was also able to get a secondary assist on, I believe, the Austin Matthews goal. So he's producing a little bit more. I just think that a lot of people, once again, we're jumping the gun here. We're making assumptions based on what we think is going to happen rather than watching and letting things figure themselves out. I mean, like I said, 3 games into the season. That is a very, very, very small sample size. Things take time to figure themselves out. Jumbo, while I don't think he'll finish the season on the first line, is getting better with those guys. You can tell they're having a ton of fun, which in my mind is the number one factor. As long as Mitch and Austin are having fun, as cheesy as it sounds, they will be producing. Under Mike Babcock, they were not having fun and they were not producing enough points because they just weren't enjoying the game. Jumbo adds a little bit of that fun, that presence. He's going to get well adapted to that first line, and I think all will be well. Well, I'm recording this on Monday morning, which means we have a game tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. I'm excited to see that matchup. It should be very tight. I think that a lot of people have regarded Winnipeg as one of the bottom teams in the North Division, but I think that team is stacked. I mean, their top 6 is as good as any. Their defense, I mean, needs a little bit of work, but they've still got solid defense. And goaltending, of course, Connor Hellebuck won the Vezina last year. So it'll be a very tough matchup, probably a high-scoring affair if I were to predict. At the point I'm making this video, I'm still not sure who's in net for the Toronto Maple Leafs, whether that's Anderson or Campbell. If you were to ask me, honestly, I go back to Frederik Anderson. I know Jack Campbell deserves another start soon. I would give him probably a start against Edmonton just to reward him a little bit and, again, load management for Frederik Anderson. But give the net back to Freddie. He had the night off a few nights ago. He's got some rest. He's our starting goaltender, whether you like it or not, and he deserves an attempt to shine. Well, if he doesn't play well in this game, sure, Jack Campbell next game. But you can't just go Jack Campbell back-to-back games just because Frederik Anderson had a soft start to the first 2 games of the season. So thank you very much for watching, and let me know your thoughts on the whole situation, about TJ Brodie, about the goalie situation, about Joe Thornton playing on that first line. I think things are starting to ramp up. That second Ottawa Senators game we absolutely dominated, which we should have all along. So we're seeing the Leafs come together. I think things are going well. Let me know your thoughts, and looking forward to the game tonight.